evening or good morning. Welcome back to Surviving Mars, and this is a little hint tips video I thought I'd throw together some mistakes and issues I've seen on other people's videos that, or maybe they are aware of them but they're not showing off for the people who have the game. I found these a bit difficult to discover on my own, but there you go. Right, so for demonstration purposes we'll pause the game. Right, first off, buildings. We'll select this dome and we will, let's just go for some apartments to start off with. Now you're going to place them in there, you know, where do they fit? Middle mouse button rotates it round. Now this is less important for something like this, but something more important will be for a bigger one. And also your parentheses, which are the sort of square bracket type things on a keyboard, which are at the end of the, usually at the end of the top alphabetical line. That changes what they look like. See, look. So we've got there. Yes, yes, it's all good. Yes, and we'll rotate with Q and E, so we can see how does it look from the front. So let's go to put it there. We've got different designs here. That there, that's quite nice. Zoom that round, but it's, you know, off center. That looks like that. That sort of thing. Okay, excellent. That's one little thing out of the way. For some things it's very easy to get, or difficult to get a building looking how you want it, and those few shortcuts on the keyboard help a lot. Something more important. Raw material supply chain. As you can see down this end I have loads of concrete. I've got a fair chunk of metals on here. Let's choose this. We'll take the metals off there. So hopefully now somebody will come and let's unpause the game, of course. Now these little worker bees here, this is a general universal depot. I've just selected not to store
Sector
metal on
scanned. Anomaly
Okay.
found.
So all they're doing is moving all the metal off and put it onto my metal storage point. Okay. The other issue I found is that zones of control. You have zones of control and you need them to overlap. Otherwise you do not get transportation to other depots and then pick up from other depots. So for example, your ideal placement for depots is not necessarily the closest point to your supply chain. So for example, concrete. I'm digging concrete here, so I've got concrete stores next door, which is good. Also I would do storage points at the far reach of my zone of influence for that hub, as long as it overlaps the other one. See, this one, these three here don't overlap these, which means that bots from these zones won't go pick up this stuff. You can manually tell bots to pick up, and you can also your transporter can manually come and pick up and move wherever you want. But that's a micromanagement thing, and it's much easier to build your areas of dumps so that they overlap. Okay, so that means that eventually you'll get a nice chain along. These bots can move stuff to depots here. These bots from that one can pick it up there and move to where you need it to be built. Because there was plenty of times where I was watching and I thought, oh, why aren't they building anything? This thing is not being built. One, always check supplies. An easy way to do that is right click. And on here,
Resources
on
are
this
low.
one here, you've got resources, it says are low. This is food is low. Okay, we'll check that out in a second. Pause the game for a moment. So on here we have your list of all the materials you've got left. Right. There's also a power shortage. Interesting. Why is there a power shortage? All these things I need to sort out. Right, so that's your supply chain. The other thing for your supply chain is note that your rocket is also a hub. I've fallen foul of this because I've got bots moving around and flying around nicely. I take off and suddenly I don't have anybody controlling any bots. So try to make use of your IRC rover if you've got one to fill that gap in if it happens. Okay, so on the subject of rovers, how do they charge? I've seen people put them on these charging stations. You don't need to. They charge by induction. You just need to put them on or very close to one of your power cables and they will automatically recharge their batteries. Simple. The other issue which I have had, and I had it in this playthrough, I tried to build wind turbines immediately. And they wouldn't build. Why wouldn't they build, he says? Because I didn't have any polymers with me. They take a polymer each to build. Once they're up and running, they're fine. I believe it's polymer. Let's double check. Power wind turbine. No, a machine part. They take a machine part. I didn't have any machine parts with me in my starting drop. So that sort of paid to that really. But, luckily, solar panels just take metal, build those up first, get some machine parts down from Earth, and then you can build your wind turbines. Wind turbines obviously are pretty essential. Purely because, well, let me just turn this off for a second. It's unoccupied glint and needed. Purely because you need 24/7 power. Power storage also is another big bonus, but quite expensive material-wise to do. And that is pretty much it. The rest of the maintenance and levels and stuff like that, another thing you need to remember to do is try and build in redundancies to your cabling in that. Meteor showers can hit vital points. For example, if I got a hit on this cable here, it would isolate this completely from oxygen supplies and water supplies. Obviously not something we want done. No, we don't want our people to starve and suffocate and die of thirst just because we didn't take the time to put 2 lots. Now this dome, pretty good. I've got a line here and a line here. So they've got power, water and oxygen coming from 2 separate areas. Which, hey, that's pretty good, I think. So, apart from that, I shall bid you good night. Yeah, leg is still broken, so videos are going to be as and when I get the comfort level up high enough for me to do, because resting my leg underneath the desk is quite painful still at the minute. So, anyway, thanks for your concerns. I'll speak to you later. Good night.